The White House is lawyering up, reportedly hiring dozens of attorneys to battle the GOP investigation into Hunter Biden's business deals. Meanwhile, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy revealing if House Republicans move forward with an impeachment inquiry against President Biden, it would, quote, occur through a vote on the floor of the People's House and not through a declaration by one person. Congressman Russell Fry sits on the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees, and he joins us now. Congressman, you say the impeachment should move forward without the vote?
I think with the vote, without the vote, however we need to do it. I think the time is right. I think the Speaker's right, and we'll take his lead on this. But when we return, I'm ready to vote. I think most of the conference is at this point, and I think the evidence, most importantly, is ready for that next step.
I want to play you a clip from Nancy Pelosi. This is her saying that President Trump's impeachments, they don't need a vote. Listen.
There's no requirement that we have a vote, and so at this time we will not be having a vote. We're not here to call bluffs. We're here to find the truth, to uphold the Constitution of the United States. This is not a game for us. This is deadly serious.
So Nancy says there's no vote needed to impeach Trump. Why isn't that standard good enough for Joe Biden? I mean, I know you're trying to be diplomatic here. I get it. You know, if he does it with the vote, without the vote. But isn't it time for Republicans to say, if this is the way our members are going to be treated from our party, we're going to do the same right back to you, because if not, this is never going to end.
Well, I think the impeachment of President Trump was really devoid of facts, and they really abused the process. So
Correct.
Having a vote, having a formal vote, I think is a good step forward. But again, my approach is I'm just ready for the inquiry to start however we get there. I think the evidence is overwhelming. The difference in this impeachment inquiry and what happened with President Trump is that there's legitimate evidence out there that's been mounting for months because of the work of the Oversight Committee and the House Judiciary Committee and the Ways and Means Committee. So all I know at this point is it's time to go. Let's start this inquiry.
Congressman, it seems that there's enough evidence now to prove that President Trump was impeached, and impeachment number one, for what, as Miranda Devine calls, Joe Biden's sins. Is there growing support for nullifying that impeachment, which I believe Kevin McCarthy can do?
Yeah, I think that there is. I think that that measure has already been filed. It seems to be growing. And again, like you just alluded to, by the day, it turns out that this hoax was really a hoax. Yeah. And a nullification of that would be a proper move, given how House Democrats abused the impeachment process to begin with.
Yeah, no question about that. Now, it looks like Joe Biden has a war room, a growing cadre of lawyers. If he was so innocent, why not just open up your bank records so we can all see them? In the meantime, you have the National Archives that has been holding on to hundreds of emails, and the few that they give over are so highly redacted, they're of no use to the committee that's providing oversight into this investigation. Why doesn't Congress just defund the archives? I mean, if you're not going to hand over documents that belong to the people, what is your purpose?
Well, I think the appropriations process is a useful tool for a lot of reasons coming up this fall when we return, and that certainly may be part of that as well. What's really concerning to me is that they acknowledge that they have 5,400 emails of all these different aliases that Joe Biden used. But then it requires the Obama administration, or President Obama and then Vice President Biden, to okay their release. That's where we stand with the 5,400 emails, waiting on whether or not this is truly the most transparent administration in history, according to them.
Yeah, clearly a lie, like so many other things. Well, I hope you guys move forward on this impeachment. I think there's a lot of calls from people to see this move forward.